Hi guys, this is Erhan. I'm co-founder and the CTO of SimLarge. Today I'm going to talk about OpsTwin, our latest digital twin platform for manufacturing companies. In a nutshell, OpsTwin gives you the potential to record all of your data, either a PLC data, a sensor data, also to collect analog or maybe paper-based data as well. We offer this as a cloud-based platform. That means you don't have to install anything on your computer. You can use your tablet, your mobile phone, or any PC to connect our system. Now you're seeing our demo page, which can be accessed by going into the URL cloud.opstwin.com. And when you enter the page, you'll be seeing the main dashboard. This is where you can see the snapshot of your factory. You can see the machines with top errors. You can see individually what is happening for all different machine lines. And also you can collect some analytical data in a historical mode. You can see the processes in your factory or in your shop floor by clicking the process button on the left-hand side. You can see here we have 4 different lines. For instance, in line 1, I have 2 machines, but going back first, you can also monitor different lines and different machinery systems. Let me proceed with line 1 and select mixer 1. You can see this is a special interface for mixer 1A machine. When you log into this application interface, you will be seeing who is responsible from this machine by looking into operator name. You can identify what kind of a part is currently in production and what kind of raw material is used to produce this part. If there is sensor data enabled for this machinery, you can also monitor them on the right-hand side. For instance, now we are observing temperature value, pressure value, as well as speed. There's also this error section, which gives you some highlight about what's going on with your machinery. If there's a problem with the machine or there's a problem with the product, maybe it's a quality issue, you can directly identify and set it from this interface. For instance, also there's a pressure issue on this machine. I'm going to click high pressure, and you can see it's automatically added. The best advantage of this interface is that this QR code. You can paste this QR code by printing it on your machinery. Then while walking in a shop floor, you can just scan this QR code and access the same interface like I just did and apply whatever you want to do with this interface. I mean, if you are seeing an error, maybe there's a low pressure error, and if you click it, you can also see it in our web page, or me as an operation director or a superintendent, I can also see what's going on the machine line. In a similar fashion, for all processes we have in the system, I can identify and show errors. For instance, this is CNC machine, CNC number 1. And by looking back, I see sometimes I have some adjustment issues. I have some low oil level issues. Let's see what happens if I add low oil level. You can see automatically low oil level is recorded with the name of the user, with the name of the product. If there's live barcodes running, they can also be captured with the same system. But this is just one use of OpsTwin. We can do more. When I go back and verify what is going on the last 1 hour, now you can see all of the errors accumulated in the last 5 minutes. You see, I just clicked the mixer 1A and CNC machines and recorded a couple of errors. Those errors now are identified as some of the highlights of your shop floor. You can depending on their use case, you can customize this interface. For instance, in this scenario, I just have one button click and done. What if I need to do more? Then we can offer this advanced operator dashboard. In a similar fashion, the user is just supervised from the first step until the last step. But now, in this example, I have more options to select. For instance, I'm going to click the error. I'm going to select this part, this model, and also this type of error. The nice thing about this is if I need to collect the error as an image, I can also do it. For instance, let me stop my video for now and assume I'm going to take an image. And you can see, I'm going to say, hey, see, there's a problem right there. And I'm going to store it. So this error is currently saved. And let me show it to you right here. See, that is really useful for a quality inspector in the long run if they would like to investigate the error occurring on a specific machine line on a specific time by examining the, I don't know, the sensor values like temperature, pressure, and speed. You can also see the image. And as I said before, whole system can be accessed through a mobile phone. I can do the same thing by scanning the QR code with the camera of my smartphone and following the same steps. You can store the data, you can store the image. This is really useful because you don't have to carry your own laptop and see what's going on the shop floor on the machine. You can use any handheld devices and it will give you the right action. So I can also keep customizing this interface. For instance, in this scenario, this is the fault maintenance dashboard. What does it mean? You can see that the dashboard is similar, but here you can also create an action for the maintenance guys. For instance, I'm going to click an error here. I'm going to say, hey, drill bit is broken. I'm going to highlight that this error is really important by clicking high level. And I'm going to say, hey, please fix. Now this error is recorded. You can see right there. Today is the 17th of April. It is recorded. At the same time, it is still captured by this section here. You can see in the drilling machine, I have this drill bit broken. On top of that, I also created an automatic action for maintenance operations. So when I go back to this new link from the left-hand side, you can see now drill bit broken is pushed into a maintenance dashboard. This is where the maintenance people in your factory, in your team, can see what is going on your machine lines. You can see now the drill bit broken error is given to you as an action, and this is a high level error. You can see depending on the color and all of the errors here listed as high level. If I can fix it, I can just click here and say close event. I fixed this, I don't know, in 30 minutes. And I said, hey, drill bit changed. You can see right here. You can see right here, and I'm the guy fixing this error. I just closed the event. You can see right here. It is no longer in the open events list, but it's pushed in the closed event list. Going backwards historically, you can see how many times I needed to fix a machine. How long does it take for me to respond, the first response to this machine, and how long does it take for me to fix the error? So it will give you the overall performance of your maintenance operations, and at the same time, you're going to identify which machines are giving you the headache, which machines needs more attention. So for further investigations or for, I don't know, some expansion opportunities, or if you need to replace your machine, this will give you really an highlighted and useful insight. In a similar fashion, you can create work orders. Let me show it to you. Assume I'm a supervisor. I would like to assign a specific work for a specific customer. I can click here and create a new work order. I'm going to say work order new. And multiple items are needed. If there is a specific work or order ID, I can also edit here. I'm going to just making numbers. And I'll be assuming that it needs to be completed end of April. So this is also selected. Now I can assign the machine. I'm going to say I don't know, the mixer needs to do it. And the part name, if you have a specific part name, because of part name, just making part names, I would like to produce thousands of them. And now I created a work order. In a couple of minutes, I was able to create a custom work order. I know what kind of part needs to be produced, what machine gonna be used to produce this part, as well as the deadline. Now, this is a supervisor's dashboard. The supervisor can see the open items, open work order list. You can see assigned work order list. That means who is working on what part, on what work order, on which machine. And you can see there are different people doing different stuff. And also closed ones can also be seen. I mean, all of these work orders are closed, and I have like 21 examples here. That means I can also create a statistics whether I meet the deadline or who was working quicker, who was working late. Maybe there were an issue with this machine. I can say, hey, drilling machine is doing not okay, but because I had the drill bit broken. So now I have some insights that connects the custom work order or any work order to the performance of the machine as well. So as I said, this is a supervisor interface. What if I'm just a user, an operator that needs to take this job and continue? Then I can switch to this user view. And this is just for demo purposes. If you are a user, you see different interfaces. If you are a super user or an admin level user of this OpsTwin system, the menus and these pages differ for you. I'm going to assume I'm a worker at this company, and I see one work order assigned into this pool. So this is the open pool. I'm going to say, okay, I'm responsible. I'm going to take this job. And I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to meet the deadline. Now you see this open work order is no longer in the list. It is pushed to my own personal list. And here you can see on my name. This is because this is my personal work order list. I have the open ones, I have the closed ones. And you can see I have a couple of examples here. This needs to be done. If I, for instance, this one, work order new, I just had it. And depending on my schedule, if I have an update, I can add an update. I can say, hey, I already produced 500 pieces today. And you can see automatically that this work order progress is updated. Let me switch back to the super user. I'm the super user. I would like to see what's going on a machine line. And somehow my machines are not connected. Please remember, if your machinery is connected with sensors, with PLC connectivity, you can always identify these values. But for the scenarios where the data is not logged or it's kept on paper, it's all analog, or maybe it's not even followed or tracked. This gives you the potential to record and communicate properly with your teammates. And you can see here, I know, okay, Erhan took the job and he already created like 500 pieces. So let me also close this job as well. I'm going to say, hey, I created another 500 here. And you can see by clicking this line here, I can also tell you when I created the first batch, when I created the second batch. And here I just need to complete this job. I'm going to say done. And it is automatically pushed to my completed work is probably somewhere here. Now, let me move another part here, and it's the rules section. You can see, I already told you we have a couple of lines, couple of machineries in this virtual shop floor. And I have these machines as well, like mixer, 1A, drilling, press. I can create rules. What does a rule mean? It means if I see an error occurring multiple times during the day, I have the option to receive an alert. This alert can be an SMS messaging, it could be a WhatsApp messaging, or it could be an email. And I already created a couple of error modes from my from my system, and I'm going to show you what I received. Whenever I click an error here, like now low temperature, I get an email message. Let me show you the email message. I'm gonna quickly switch to my email here. All right. So right here, okay, let me go back. All right, so let me share my screen again. Now you're seeing this specific section in my Outlook. Whenever I clicked an error, I get an alert. And the last time I clicked, it was like a couple of minutes ago, and it was a low temperature alert. Now you can see here, whenever I click in an error as a worker on the shop floor, I receive an alert as as a director or as a supervisor from my office. Or if I'm in a remote location, I can also get the same alert from my iPhone or my smartphone, whatever you're using. The advantage is these instant alerts are specific to you, so you decide what kind of a rule you would like to monitor. You can say, if I receive at least 5 errors within the day, or the average value of the temperature within the last hour change like 2 degrees, please send me a message. Then this message can be entered in the rules section, and you can go from there to whatever action you would like to take. Let me show it to you again. I'm going to go back to this high temperature error mode. I'm going to click here, and you see right there, I just received a high temperature alert from the system. All right, perfect. So let me proceed. Of course, we also have a connectivity module. So far, the data entries were somewhat manual, but with the quick automated system, you just click 1 or 2 buttons and done. But at the same time, the values from the PLCs, from the sensors, the data can also be collected. Going back to this example, you can see here in the Mixer 1A, I have temperature, pressure, and speed data loaded in real time. Now you can see they are coming to you. But in the connectivity module, I can do more. I can add a new device with a specific protocol, and I believe we already added a couple of protocols here. Let me say my machine. And when I proceed, you can see we have OPCDA, OPCUA, Modbus, and we already added 2 more protocols into our system. The good thing about this is you can always monitor in real time what is going on. I'm gonna click Mixer 1A and start monitoring. And you can see now, in real time, I can see a window, like 20, 25 seconds of window. That can be done with multiple machines, with multiple sensors. You can interact with this one. I can say, hey, I don't want to track pressure or speed. I just want to see how temperature varies, and you can see the temperature variation. You also see the temperature is varying between 18 and 24. And you can create an alert in the rules section. If you say, hey, when the temperature goes below 18, or goes above 24, you can always create a new rule for your for our own OpsTwin usage. At the same time, you can also get historical input. So when I click the data analytics section, let me select Mixer 1A. So the idea here is the following. Instead of monitoring in real time, the last 20, 25 seconds, I can always get the data as well. So I'm going to say, hey, start date, like, I don't know, from the beginning of this year, okay, and until today, all right? So I'm going to go all of these, I don't know, stop here, maybe. And let me get data. So it'll bring me all these 3 sensors data historically from the last for almost 4 months. And you can see I already have like 2,500 hours of data. So you can export this data as an Excel file, and you can do further investigations on the system if you need to do. But in a nutshell, OpsTwin gives you already the power to come up with real useful insights, and it gives you the potential to do more. You can always see the OE on your machines. This is also added here, and all of these interfaces can be customized depending on our end users' requests. I have this settings. I mean, we have a couple of languages already added: Spanish, Italian, German can also be, or in French can also be added. You can create a setup, and this is probably the most important section. You can add users, you can add machines, you can add specific errors for your systems. All of it can be created within OpsTwin module. I mean, for user system, for instance, you can create usernames, you can create specific roles. For instance, I am here both an admin and also an user. So users have restricted access to these features. They have restricted access to number of machines that can operate, number of modules that can be used, or maybe here they don't receive SMSs, but all of them also receive daily reports. And daily reports are also an important part of the OpsTwin operations. Whatever error is occurring on your system, you always get a report at the end of the day. And at the end of the day means really, it's like at the end of your workday. And let me show it to you as well. When you go back and click here, daily at this 17:30, I get that daily report. And here, this is a personal report for me. And going backwards, what happened yesterday? So we had a couple of CNC errors. We have an error in the general machine. I have also an error in the mixer. So what else? I can also go backwards in time. And for Monday, for instance, so I had different machines, different errors. So all of them can be accessed using OpsTwin's data reporting routine. So that was the setup part. You can always click one user and edit their preferences. In a similar fashion, you can add machines, you can add errors, and these errors are important because all of the companies have historically collected a number of errors, a number of typically occurring quality defects or issues. They can always be recorded here, and wherever you record it, it is automatically adjusted in user interfaces. I mean, if you are working on a different machine like press machine, you see only press machine number one specific errors, and you can set it from the settings page. Or maybe going backwards again for the CNC line, I have like, let me know it. Yeah, okay. First, I have 4 different kind of errors, and they differ from the press machine or the mixer machine, and they are specific for CNC machine. And here you're going to record it historically, and going backwards, you know what happened in the last 10 days or 2 weeks or a month. It's up to you. In a similar fashion, you can define parts, you can define models, you can define lines as well. So this is just an overview of OpsTwin. OpsTwin can do more depending on your needs, and either you have digital data or you have non-digital paper-based form data. You can always use OpsTwin to digitize your factory. Thanks for listening. I'll be giving additional videos and maybe deep dive actions and demos with OpsTwin as well. See you next time.